Let me, yeah, go ahead. Hold on. I'll just turn mine on real quick, and let me just at least see if it's in. Oh, damn it. Where's my. There it is. I found you.
Hey, everybody out in TV land.
Shout out to my peoples.
Yeah.
All my peoples.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my peoples.
Welcome to the Android Police podcast on this sunny and clear Thursday night. Where
Are you going to say codpiece? Welcome to the Android Police Codpiece.
Oh, yes, indeed.
The Android Police Codpiece. I like it. Yeah, so it's that app is still not showing in the TV Play Store for me, so and it has not been pushed to my.
I guess take it off then. That's really weird.
We could talk about it and speculate what it's supposed to do, but we have no actual experience. What in God's name is YouTube telling me to watch? That looks
so
really...
it'll be like David every other week.
Yes. That looks really interesting.
Just sell it. Just sell it.
I'm curious if anybody else ever has the problem where you like try to look at something upside down on your phone and you end up like spinning your phone around like for 5 minutes before you realize you have to turn screen rotation off.
No, I think you might have a brain tumor.
It's not for Puma.
Is that one of the signs?
I don't probably any sort of spatial awareness problems. I think you could probably chalk up to a possible brain tumor.
What do they call it when your pancakes when you perceive the smell of pancakes as blood?
Really creepy is what you call that.
Some kind of weird smell aphasia?
Well, okay. Now the pancakes are made out of blood. What are these labeled, man? I don't have dates on that.
Oh, the first one is voicemail, and the second one is voicemail 1.
Okay. Thanks.
So are we killing that live channels thing, or are we just going to talk about how weird it is that it doesn't actually exist?
We could kamikaze topic it.
Let's just talk about how weird it is that we don't. That
I
it's
say
just
we throw it to Liam.
Yeah.
No,
straight
Bertel.
Straight up.
Eric. Oh, Ron.
Oh, Eric.
We haven't had Eric on the show in a while. We should lease him from Lifehacker again.
I remember him.
Man, I remember him as well.
Yeah, is there some kind of cross-promotional thing, or do we have to, like, lease him?
I think
buy
that
him for a certain amount
I think that like literally his lower third has to say on loan from Lifehacker or something like that.
It has to be known. Let it be spoken.
Who's the Gawker guy who just stepped down a couple of days ago, or said he would step down?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to much of anything that happens at
What
Gawker.
are you talking about?
The guy who runs Gawker, I don't know what his title is, but he basically did this big post on, I think it was the main Gawker blog, that said, I hate this job, it sucks, I want to write again. This guy's going to do my job from now on, from over at Jalopnik, so see you losers.
Was it that guy who got in trouble for the bullying thing recently?
I don't think it was the same guy, no. That was Sam Biddle, wasn't it?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I would have remembered if it was him. He is
Yeah, I don't remember who is.
Whatever happened to Sam Biddle?
He's still working there.
He writes for Ballywag, I think, doesn't he?
I didn't know. I haven't heard anything from him in forever. So
no, because he's writing for Ballywag.
Yeah, because you don't pay attention to Ballywag. With good reason.
But I mean, he pissed off the Gamergate people.
Times like we should not, but nobody wants to put their name next to it, so.
Yeah, well, it's just I mean, I guess if it makes you feel comfortable to have a name, I can actually misspell my name.
What up?
Actually, I was gonna say if you look at the distribution on the sheet, Ryan, you were a little light. So.
Ooh.
Well, hey, Cam was all like, I'm gonna hog all these Android Wear topics that Ryan wrote. So.
Shout out to Cam.
It's like a story tennis match between me and Ryan. Me, Ryan.
High five.
Ryan, me.
That's right.
Wow, Michael uses words that make me think. It's gonna be a long night.
It's good to hear.
I can't log into the chat room.
You guys, I
Guess I
just
should-
high-fived myself.
Turn off all of my noisy devices before we start.
Man, I just let mine roll.
You gotta roll.
Oh, that's right. In Lollipop, it doesn't have the quick, easy silence your crap button.
Well, priority I find works well enough.
All right.
You should create an app that's called Silence Your Crap button.
I like the priority thing.
Yeah, I mean, now that I've gotten used to it, I'm totally fine with it, but I can understand how people are confused as hell about what the hell is.
I can't understand it.
Yes, and as if you've been observing our office chat for the last half hour, you know I am frequently confused as hell. Such topics as apps and extensions.
No, I don't even understand how you got confused about that one.
Because
Hey.
they're both in the menu that says extensions.
But
Hey,
they're,
Cam.
they're- huh?
On your Nexus 9, you're running 501, right?
Yes, I just updated like a few days ago.
So when you hit the volume toggles on the tablet now, I don't see the priority pop-up thing.
I just used it.
Really? I'm like, why is it not? It's not. It's showing me just the thing without the.
But you know what is weird? I noticed earlier when my speaker started popping and cracking that when I went to change the volume, it was changing the media volume and not the system volume.
Maybe that's what it's doing for some reason.
That's what mine was doing,
gonna
and I don't
just,
understand why.
I'm gonna just go ahead and restart this bad boy. Because that's super weird.
Yeah, that is super weird. Man, YouTube is recommending some really interesting and it looks like potentially risque things to me on the Nexus player. Like scantily clad women and it says funniest pranks 2014,
Oh yeah, all those.
funniest band commercials.
All right, well,
funniest-
if it
have
makes
like
you-
100
if it-
5-second clips of women falling over.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
if it makes you feel better, the preview picture is probably not even related to the actual video.
yeah,
It was a lie.
yeah.
I wish Google would like stop letting people do that.
Yes, as far as I've seen,
It should actually be in the video.
like a quarter second of some woman in a bikini in there somewhere, and then just adjust the slider and use that as their thumbnail.
I
Bastards.
always get a kick out of the thumbnails for the news bloopers ones because they're so obvious shop jobs.
It's a shop job. Is that like a shop vac
Yes,
Job.
it's exactly like a shop vac.
job?
Hey,
The
Cleveland.
fact that I've got a standing desk doesn't really let me angle stuff here. It makes my head look enormous.
Cool.
That's actually impressive.
You mean we actually have a team that can score when Ron's not scoring?
What?
Eh?
Huh?
Oh, Braun.
All right, we
Oh,
got
Bron,
40
Bron.
seconds. Do we want to start on time?
Let's start 30 seconds early. Go.
Oh, I think so too. Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, wait a minute. Should I tweet this?
Oh, shit.
He's got the post ready for the homepage.
It's already on there.
Welcome to the Android Police Podcast, your weekly audio source for all things Android. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2014. I'm your host, Matthew Smith.
I'm Cameron Summerson.
I'm Ryan Whitwam.
I'm Michael Kreider.
And I'm a guy that from time to time has to go to his son's crap at school, and it makes the show start an hour later than usual. My name is Bob Severance.
Oh, you're that guy.
Yeah, I'm exactly him.
I
hate
was
that
wondering
guy.
who that guy was.
It's me.
You had to go.
Sorry for being a little bit later for you folks that are in different time zones. I know some of you it's very, very late, and we appreciate you being with us anyway.
All right, let's kick things off with Google.
I just ate a double Whopper with cheese.
How many pieces of cheese?
I think there was only one piece of cheese.
Only one piece of cheese.
It was a
One piece of cheese and 2 meat. That's wrong.
That's a McDonald's-like move right there.
I tell you what, the cheese to meat ratio was a little off. It was a little off. Not wear a dress off, not quite that far off, but a little off.
All right, so we've known for a while that there was a pretty big update coming to Android Wear, the official Lollipop build for Android Wear, and it looks like it's finally here. So the Lollipop build. That's right.
I had to do it.
You had no choice. I understand.
Right.
All right, so it's officially here, and Cam, can you give us some information?
No.
No. All right. Well,
I don't know. Moving on. No, it's okay. So finally, after months of Google talking about it, we're finally going to see official watch faces. So the way watch faces have been working is basically been an unsupported method. They work and they do a good enough job, but now Google has released APIs for watch faces, and that's a pretty big deal. So they're already recommending, or maybe not recommending, but they've sort of made a little page with a bunch of new watch faces and whatnot. There's some cool ones on there, but I wouldn't know because I still don't have the 5.0.1 update, or I'm sorry, 5.0 update.
Yeah, me either, and I'm upset about this.
I'm pretty irritated about it. Yeah. So there are also different lighting modes, theater mode and sunshine mode. Is it called sunshine?
I think it's
something
sunlight
like that.
Or something.
Sunlight. I think it's sunlight. Yeah, something like that. So those happen. So and also tilt to turn on the screen, which I think should have been there since the first. I mean, that should have been one of the very first things. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on a little rant about that.
It takes a while to tilt right.
Yeah.
It really does.
And you can retrieve dismissed cards now, finally.
Yes, that's cool too. So if you accidentally dismiss cards, which I'm sure everyone with Android Wear has done multiple times, I know I have. So that's cool. And speaking of, the watch face thing, going back to that, all watch faces that are currently using the method, the sort of hack together method, I guess is the best way to put it, will be removed from Google Play by January 31st. Google is not allowing them. You have to use the official Watch API. And it's interesting because Facer, one of the most popular ones, which allows a custom watch face basically to be made on the phone and then sent over to the watch, is really intuitive and really, really cool. It was actually updated to support 5.0 only, and there was a huge backlash. So Google actually allowed the Facer developer to re-implement support for 4.4, at least for the time being. I assume until everyone actually gets the 5.0 update. Once that comes out, I imagine that they will make that the support for older versions of Wear be dropped. So,
yeah, I think they actually pushed the new version of Facer because I just got an update for it a little bit ago. And I should point out, Google didn't say how they said they're going to end support for these unofficial watch faces. They didn't explain exactly how that was going to happen, but they said by that date you got to be updated or it's not going to work anymore. And I guess I presume that when all these watch faces stop working, they're going to filter them out of the Play Store results because otherwise people are going to be buying and downloading things that don't work.
Right.
So I don't know. It's unclear exactly how they're going about this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is something that should have been kind of implemented basically from the start, but
yeah, obviously. I mean, Google said, however many months ago that developers shouldn't, start doing watch faces yet. But I mean, of course they're going to do it because people are buying the watches and they want watch faces.
Oh yeah, but that's because all the stock ones basically suck.
Yeah, on most devices they definitely do. The Moto 360 has really excellent ones. The G Watches are okay, or the G Watch R is okay. The regular G Watch is kind of meh. The Zen Watch is okay.
And don't forget,
the Smartwatch 3 is bad.
Fake Rolex watch faces for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, you can't. It's hard to find those now.
I also think one of the biggest benefits that I actually didn't mention was improved battery life on the Wear device.
Yeah, so they say.
Supposedly, the new watch faces make it. Are supposed to make it a lot better. So I don't know.
Yes, I would love to be able to verify that, but unfortunately,
I
have the update.
yeah,
yet.
I would like to.
Yeah, one of the guys in the office chat said he was seeing dramatically better battery life on his Moto 360 after the update. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
I'm interested to see. I mean, like most wear devices are already a lot better than that. So I mean, man, it would be crazy if something that already gets a day and a half or 2 days of battery life increased even more. We're getting to like Pebble territory.
Yeah, so that's
Whoa,
pretty
easy
cool.
now.
And also to go along with the Wear update, the Wear app is getting an update which brings material design and some specific features for Wear 5.0, like the ability to change watch faces from your phone, so you don't have to change them from the watch. So that's neat. I just wish I could play with all this crap that we're talking about.
Well, you can. You just have to, root and sideload.
You have to root. You have to root your watch. You don't want to root your watch, Cam. You don't have time in your day to root your watch.
I don't want to root my watch.
I feel like
really watch seems like a perfectly
watch
reasonable
is a
thing to
thing
do.
that should have never made it into the wild.
I don't even want to root my watch. I haven't even rooted my new phones.
I'm kind of over rooting phones. I mean, especially because Lollipop makes it a new.
I mean, it's like I have one rooted phone over there. My Nexus 5 is still rooted. So if I need to test something for rooted devices, there it is, because there's no need for me to root my.
What about your Android-powered oven? Have you rooted that?
I have. I did. I rooted my oven and installed CM9, I believe it was.
But does that make your oven overheat? Because I think with an oven that could be a big problem.
No, it's overclocked. Overclocked.
I installed a third-party kernel on my oven.
I was about to say, I hear if you install a faux kernel, that'll cook your food faster.
I did. I installed a third-party kernel on my oven before Thanksgiving to see if I could cook the turkey faster and burned my house down.
You shouldn't have undervolted. That was your mistake.
Oh, damn it. I should have overclocked and undervolted, because that never causes problems. You're so right.
Right.
Nerd jokes are funny.
Oh
That's what the show is, basically.
All right, so let's move on to a couple more apps that got updated this week, starting off with, it hasn't actually been updated yet, but Google Translate's got some new tricks that are up its sleeve and coming soon, right, Mike?
Yes, indeed. So, okay, about a month, 6 weeks ago, Google purchased the company that made WordLens, which is one of our favorite apps. It is just this awesome tool. You point your phone at a foreign language, a sign or a menu or whatever, and you look through the camera on your phone and you see the words in English or vice versa, whatever language you happen to use. It is a fantastic tool. Formerly, it was paid. You have to pay like $5 or $10 for each language you downloaded. I remember using it at Mobile World Congress, and it's a great little tool, which is why Google snatched it up. We have been told by a source that we cannot reveal that an upcoming version of Google Translate will incorporate this WordLens functionality right into the app that you're probably already familiar with for free. So you open Google Translate, you point it at a foreign language menu or sign or text of any kind, you point it, you say translate, and it will appear on your phone in your video window, which I think is just really, really cool. On top of that, the live translation mode that's going on in the app that goes when you have a conversation going on is getting some updates, and it will allow people to speak simultaneously, which we're very familiar with here on the podcast. So basically, you just tell it to listen to 2 different languages and 2 different people, and it will continually update with the translation on the screen. This is Star Trek level territory. It is some cool stuff. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly when this stuff will come to the release version of Google Translate, as usual, but it looks pretty complete in the preview images that we have, so we can hope it'll be in the next few months.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty exciting stuff. I know that I've actually broken out WordLens for no actual useful reason other than to just show people the cool thing that it does.
Yeah, but the app itself was super janky.
It was.
It was not good. But I mean, the actual technology was super cool. But like Michael said, expensive.
Well, how far have we come that Google actually improves upon the design of apps that it's purchasing?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 5 years ago, that would not have been the case.
Hey, now, 5 years ago, Mattias Duarte didn't exist. So
he was birthed in the Palm headquarters.
He's spraying fully formed from someone's forehead.
All right, so let's talk about the new Play Store update 5.1.11, which has added some interesting and long-awaited features, but it might not be all it's cracked up to be. So, Michael, what's going on with reward vouchers in the new Play Store?
Indeed. In the latest version of the Play Store that we have up on APK Mirror, if you are interested, our code monkey, Cody Toombs, went in and found all kinds of strings in there that indicated that maybe, perhaps, could be, someday, gifts are coming to Google Play. That is to say, gifts that you purchase and give to another person in the form of apps, and maybe some other stuff like books or movies could be. The term that they use is vouchers, which basically, according to what he's found, means that you can pick an app or possibly an in-app purchase and give it to a specific person, and that would be really cool. That is something that people have been wanting forever, just for general gifts, of course, and for promotions and contests and that sort of thing. There are a couple of ways around it right now, but it's pretty difficult. Some other things that he found in there is enterprise-level app purchases, which basically just means that a company can buy an app for you on your company account and have it auto-delivered to your phone or tablet. And then there's a small change in the way that permissions are displayed as you download apps. And that's about it. A lot of this stuff, again, we are not seeing live in the app just now. It looks like Google is laying down the framework so that it can turn it on later. So we are eagerly looking forward to that.
Cool. Yeah, and there's still a lot to be seen with the rewards thing. We don't know if everybody's going to be able to do it, if developers have to issue it directly. So a whole lot yet to be seen with that, and I guess we'll find out soon enough. All right, so back at Google I/O, there was some cool announcements regarding Chromecast, and screencasting has been around for a while. We heard that first announced there, but the one thing that hasn't really made it to Showtime just yet is the guest mode that allows anyone to really communicate with your Chromecast without having to share your Wi-Fi password. But it looks like that's finally showing up, right, Ryan?
Yeah. So part of that new Chromecast app update was the ability to access your Chromecast and turn that feature on. And I was just playing with it earlier today, and it works really, really well. I mean, you just, in the cast button for an app, you just select nearby Chromecast, and it pops up a little toast notification that says, this app is going to use your microphone to connect to the Chromecast. And it took me like a second maybe to connect to it. And obviously I was not on the same Wi-Fi network. That's the whole point here, is that somebody can just be near your Chromecast, and the TV emits an ultrasonic pulse that the phone can hear and you can't. And then it uses that to authenticate. It's basically transmitting a PIN. If the sound doesn't work, then you can actually manually enter a PIN for that Chromecast. And then you can just stream content to the Chromecast, because, I mean, Chromecast just is pulling things down from, network and online resources. It's, seldom actually pulling things directly from the device over Wi-Fi. So I guess if you're using an app that, is supposed to be pushing data, across the network, that might be a little bit extra janky with this method, but I mean, it worked really well when I tried it.
Did you out of curiosity, did you try using Allcast with it at all?
I did not. No, I just tested it with Play Music. I think something like Allcast would maybe be questionable. I don't know if the Chromecast would know to like connect over the internet to the device to pull that stuff down. I don't know how that would work, but I foresee the possibility, at least, of problems.
And if I can just go off on a tangent here, I think this might be the first implementation by Google of the Slick Login software that they acquired back in February of this year. It's when they acquired this company that does basically exactly this. They have authentication between your phone and a computer or some other gadget, and they emit sound waves that you can't hear, but your computer's microphone can, and authenticates without you having to put in your personal password. So I think that's probably what's going on in the background here. Very cool.
Right.
Yeah, and I can confirm at this point, my dogs do not seem to hear it either. So
what if I can't?
That's actually the next thing I was going to ask. Did your dogs freak out? No.
They did not know.
If I can hear it, will I be able to transmit data from myself to my Chromecast?
No, it goes the other way. It will literally root your brain.
Does it work like those cricket ringtones where like people under the age of like 5 might be able to hear it or something?
I don't know. Maybe a 5-year-old with like really, really awesome hearing.
I'll ask my son when I get home. I'll wake him up just to test this theory.
Yeah. No, you don't even have. You just try to connect to a TV, and if he wakes up like, Dad, what is all the noise? And you're like, I knew it.
Yes.
That could be his superpower.
Could be. That'd be.
I could think of worse superpowers. I mean, like that guy from X-Men who has to hug people and make spikes come out of his body. That's a pretty shitty superpower. So I'd rather be able to hear the Chromecast thing.
It was only crappy in the movie, Cameron. If you watch the X-Men Evolution series, it was actually much more functional.
Yeah, Cameron, haven't you watched X-Men Evolution?
My bad. Sorry, guys. It was pretty crappy in the movie, though. He's like, come here, let me hold you, Spiky. I'm like, oh my god, you porcupine freak. As long as people stay 4 inches away from you, you have no power at all.
Well, it's better than the guy whose only power was that he could grow back his arms really fast.
Dude,
Like,
imagine how useful that would be if your arms get removed.
Well,
I mean,
how
think
often
about
is that going to happen, though?
I mean, when you're fighting will happen 5 times right away and make a really good shot, and that's it.
It could happen. I mean, if you're doing battle with somebody, what if there's a superpower that enables someone to rip arms off really quickly? See, it comes in really handy if you're fighting that guy.
I mean, like at best, it's a stalemate because your only power is to grow your stupid arms back.
Grow.
That's just gonna go on until you both get tired.
Well, I'm just.
There's got to be some kind of big drawback to instant arms. Like they come back and you just barely hit the guy. It's like, oh well, you're no longer a threat. Bye bye.
Well, see, I'm thinking when you work out, you destroy your muscle tissue and it grows back stronger. So maybe every time his arms are ripped off and they grow back stronger.
So he just has to pull his arms off a couple times before the fight just to get juiced up and ready to go.
I like it. What's this guy's name again?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
What was that fall off man for one shot in X-Men 3?
Oh man. Yeah. So,
All right, well let's move on to the very mysterious and elusive Live Channels app for Android TV, which apparently is a thing, but we've yet to see proof of it. Right, Ryan?
Yeah. So supposedly Google released this app. However, it doesn't appear to actually install on any devices running Android TV. Or I mean, maybe it installs just to ATT1, but it doesn't install on the Nexus player. I mean, it's in the Play Store. It's supposed to allow you to stream live television from a digital tuner, an IP tuner, or something. And I would love to tell you more about it, but we can't actually install it on anything.
True story. I checked the Nexus player. It's not available in the Android TV Play Store, and it didn't automatically install itself on my Nexus player. So honestly, I don't know.
So Google may want to do this at some point in the future. That seems to be a recurring theme on this show.
Yeah.
And in general with Google.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if you only talk about the things that people already have, it'd get boring pretty quick because people already have them. So, just saying. All right. Speaking of things that people already have, apparently about 500,000 people already have Google Cardboard, and that has prompted Google to do a whole lot of stuff regarding Google Cardboard that we're going to hear about right now. Michael, what's going on with Cardboard?
Indeed. I don't think anybody saw this coming when Google introduced Cardboard back at I/O, because, I mean, it came a few weeks, maybe a month after the big news from Facebook and Oculus Rift, and then Samsung came out and said they were going to do their thing, which is just coming out now. And Google countered with this super cheap make-it-yourself cardboard VR headset, and apparently it's just blown up. I mean, 500,000 users for something that they just kind of did as a side project. Well, now they're sort of formalizing it. It's got its own app section in the Play Store, sort of like Chromecast had when it was first coming out. And this is not a joke, guys. This has over 20 apps in there, including the Hobbit VR experience, something from the people who did the game. That's really hard to vocalize. A. And a bunch of interesting just VR experiments that are going on. Almost all of them are free. There's a couple small little mini games that are paid. But if you happen to have a Google Cardboard unit, it is definitely something you should check out. And if you don't have one, it's going to be easier to find one pretty soon. Google is releasing some very specific guidelines for both individuals and third parties who are making these semi-official Google Cardboard units. So all sorts of really fun stuff. There's also a few new things they're pushing to their SDK, a couple of APIs that they're enhancing. It looks like they're not exactly jumping into the deep end as far as virtual reality is concerned, but they're definitely getting a lot more interested.
So just to clarify, is there any functional difference between the cardboard thing that you fold up and attach to your face and the Gear VR, which is, my understanding, essentially a fancy face case for your phone?
This too.
I've actually tried the Samsung Gear VR. I went to the big Android barbecue down in Fort Worth, and Cam totally bailed on me, or he would have tried it too. But yes, it is essentially just this plastic shell that you slide a Note 4 into and look at, and there are lenses, and that's it.
And
I think it's got a sensor in there that can tell that it's in. But I mean, you're looking at two different sides of a phone screen, and that's it.
Yeah, and they just announced it at $200, right?
Yeah, $200 for what is
versus $25 for cardboard. Yeah, that's insane. So I actually had a conversation on Twitter about this. I kind of dogged like the whole concept of Gear VR and whatnot, and said that I would never take anyone seriously who straps a phone to their face. And it was immediately pointed out to me that I was wrong, and that there are actually some pretty useful things that people are doing with this. And after being told about a couple of them, I openly admitted that I was wrong. So it turns out that some realtors are using this to give virtual tours of houses, which I think is just so kick-ass. I mean, that's so cool. It's like, oh, you want to see this house? Put this cardboard on your face, and I'm going to show it to you. I mean, how cool is that? That is super cool. So shout out to Russell Hawley for telling me about that, because I thought that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think we're only scratching the surface as far as this VR stuff is concerned. This is the Wild Wild West stuff. We've got two tiers at this point. We've got the super expensive, and we've got Google's super, super cheap. And there's all sorts of cool things that they're coming out of the woodwork for.
I feel like Oculus, they already got bought, so they don't probably really care. But I feel like they kind of missed the boat. If they had the actual consumer version of this out already, they would maybe have something to do with the future of VR. But now, everybody's got 1080p and 1440p screens in their pockets, and if somebody...
Well, I think you could consider Samsung's thing the Oculus...
but the thing it's like...
Because they're supporting the software.
But they want to charge $200 for it. Like, you've already got all of the important parts in your pocket. Like, you just need a thing to hold it up next to your eyes.
Well, and the lenses. The lenses aren't easy to come by.
Actually, the lenses sell for pretty cheap on Amazon, at least the ones you use for cardboard. I don't know if they use better ones, I guess.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's not like you can go down to the Home Depot and buy VR lenses.
It's more expensive than the cardboard that you make it out of. It's like, and Google calls this cardboard, but like I'm sure that somebody's going to make a version of it out of like ABS plastic or something and charge an extra $20 for it.
Yeah, and it might be worth it. If you find that it's something that you use often, it might be worth going for one that's $30 or $40 versus whatever cardboard's like what,
Google should release.
I think it's $25.
Yeah,
Google for like the Dodo case version. I don't know. Yeah, because when I first my immediate thought when I think about like any of this VR stuff is stupid games and really, really, really obscure crap. So. I'm ready for
disturbing porn. Don't forget the disturbing porn.
And disturbing porn, yeah. I didn't even think about that. So thanks for putting that thought in my head.
Anytime.
I'd be shocked if there isn't already like a 3D printer.
Let's check Thingiverse.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. A Thingiverse. If there's not already a 3D printed Thingiverse downloadable land to print off your own one. Yeah, they exist. So.
Yep. Indeed, they
although
do.
All the ones that I'm seeing pretty much look exactly the same as the cardboard one, except made of plastic. You think somebody might take some time to make it look a little nicer?
Well, they have them for different phones though, which is actually pretty cool.
Oh no, that is a good idea.
Yeah, there's one for the Galaxy S5.
Does it cost $200? Because if it doesn't, it is already better than the Samsung VR.
Yeah, really. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the future is now.
The future is now. All right, so let's talk about the future and what it means to the Nexus 5. Obviously, the Nexus 6 is out there. It's the newest Nexus device. Nexus 5 now a year old, and now you may just have a few less options if you're looking to buy one, right, Ryan?
Yeah, Google has stopped selling, or at least listing, the white and red versions of the Nexus 5. The only one left is black, and as far as we know, they're not actively manufacturing the phone anymore. So this is probably just Google saying, well, we just didn't have as many of the white and red ones, and now they're all gone. So if you want one, you can buy a black one, maybe sometimes, because it's still out of stock a lot. It just sort of it comes in and out of stock, and then it'll be gone for a long time. It's very bizarre. But if you want a Nexus 5, I mean, there are a lot of refurbished deals on Nexus 5s around. So I mean, you don't need to buy it direct from Google because they still want $350 for the 16 gig version. I think it should be lower now because it's already a year old.
This is the place where we are. We're talking about $350 being too much for a phone.
Well, for a phone that was $350 when it came out a year ago, it's too much.
The red one was ugly anyway. I will always maintain that.
Maintain what?
That the red Nexus 5 is just completely ugly and undesirable.
I am not super opposed to it, but I would probably not buy it, I guess.
I don't think I would buy it, and red is my favorite color, but I really do love the red speaker grill on it. That's the only thing that I really like about it. I love that red speaker grill. That's just a nice touch that I like a lot.
Do you remember before the Nexus 5 came out and we were seeing all those leaked things, and we were trying to figure out what the giant white dot in the middle of the top front was? And it was just the white Nexus 5 that we were really seeing from the front, and it has like the white speaker grill in the middle of it.
Yep.
So that Google trolled us on that one.
Good job, Google. Good
Well, at least they never made the yellow one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord, I forgot about that. Woo! That was terrible.
All right, so let's talk about something else you can't get on the Play Store anymore. This time it's an app, and it's a pretty popular one. The Amazon app, in its typical form, has been removed from the Play Store. Why do we think that might have happened, Ryan?
So yeah, this was a wild ride today, trying to figure out what the hell was going on with Amazon's app. So I mean, this app has like 100 million downloads, and then suddenly today you can't download it. It doesn't show up in search results. I mean, the listing page is still live if you have the direct link, but it won't show up on any devices. So what we were hearing was that Google had forced them to take it down because back in September, Amazon updated it with the entire App Store, which you're not supposed to do. Google doesn't want you to distribute a third-party app store inside of Google Play for obvious reasons. So we're trying to figure out what happened. We asked Amazon, and they said, well, we had to take down the version that we had because of the change to the developer distribution agreement on September 25th. And that was when Google announced the whole the developers have to put their address in the App Store thing. And that sort of overshadowed this very minor change. Essentially, Google changed the language. It used to say that only apps whose primary purpose was to distribute other apps were banned. And technically, the Amazon app that wasn't its primary purpose, to distribute App Store apps, so maybe that was okay. And then that happened in early September, and then at the end of September, Google updated the rules to say any app that distributes other apps is not allowed. So basically, Google just lawyered Amazon and forced them to take their app down. So there is now a new listing for an Amazon app that is just shopping. It's called Amazon Shopping. If you want the full version of the app, you can download it from Amazon's site. Or if you had it installed before, it'll still be there, but I doubt it will be getting any more updates because it is sort of being discontinued in the Play Store. So real weird.
I'm wondering if I'm trying to remember if it updated recently, because I know, okay, so first of all, the Amazon App Store app obviously is able to update itself without updating through the Play Store. The app, I don't know if it would have been possible for them to, throw something in in a release that just might have come out just before they had to pull it off the Play Store that would allow it to be allow it to update itself? I don't know.
Well, you would still have to enable unknown sources in the settings to allow that. I don't think there's any mechanism by which a non-system app can update itself silently.
Right, but if you were using the App Store functionality within it anyways, you already had that enabled.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, not everybody was. I mean, a lot of people had that installed because of instant video.
Right.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Amazon Video app, the one that allowed you to watch purchased and rented movies and TV shows from Amazon that we waited years for, is still a separate app. So that's not really affected in this whole situation, is there?
Well, it's a separate app, but it is kind of affected because that app isn't distributed in the Play Store. They distributed it through the Amazon app. So you can still get it, but you have to get it from Amazon.
All right. Just so
Does this affect the Amazon tablet app in any way?
I don't think so because I don't think the tablet app was ever updated with the App Store functionality.
It was.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I figured I would ask.
I have to assume Amazon thought this could happen. That's probably why they didn't update both apps. Because, come on, Google was going to be annoyed about this because it was obvious what their intention was with the developer policy. And Amazon was just sort of like playing a technicality like, well, you said primary purpose, and that's not the primary purpose, so this is okay, right? And Google said, no, that is not okay.
yeah, Amazon snuck it in and Google called their bluff. That's all that's happening here.
Yeah.
Google. So basically, in a nutshell, Google punched Amazon in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, Amazon got a good face punching over this one. I mean, I feel like they kind of lost out big on this because, 100 million active installs of that app now are probably going to go unupdated. I mean, they have a new app and it's Amazon. People are going to find it, but it's just unfortunate for them.
A lot of people who already have this app
We
installed.
always knew that this was violating the letter, if not the spirit, if not the letter of the Google Developer Agreement. We knew that something was going to happen the minute they snuck this in there. So.
Yeah, it was really kind of foolish of Amazon to do that.
Amazon, you're so crazy.
All right, let's move on to Carrier 411.
Really?
Really?
Carrier 411.
Was your Carrier 411 button feeling neglected, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so T-Mobile is back in the news this week with some new pretty enticing plans for families. Michael, what's new from T-Mobile?
All right, so for a while now, T-Mobile has offered a true unlimited plan, unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data to individuals for $80 a month. Now, that's a pretty good deal because unlimited data is hard to find these days, but if you want a family to sign up for it, before a few days ago, you had to sign up each individual phone and each individual person for a separate unlimited plan, which could get expensive quickly. So for 4 people, you'd have $320 a month. Now they've added unlimited options for their family plans, and it starts at 2 people, $100 a month, which if you're following along is a $60 savings over 2 separate lines. And for each additional person on top of 2 people, it's $40 a month. So if you have a family of 4 and you all want unlimited data, that is $180 instead of $320, which is pretty great. 5 gigabytes of tethering is included. This is real unlimited. It's not like unlimited in the sense that you get it up to a certain point and then your speed slows down. No, this is real old-fashioned unlimited data. Compared to Sprint, their single unlimited plans are $60 a month, or $50 if you have an iPhone, but of course, that's not really our target. Anyway, $60 a month for Sprint, and if you go to Verizon or AT&T, they will laugh you out of the store because they don't do unlimited. So that's about it.
Yeah, that is a really, really good deal. I mean, my bill is about that for 2 people, but I have a really old grandfathered plan. So I don't need to switch, but man, if I were on any of the modern plans, I would instantly be on that.
And I will add that if you're looking to save money, remember that when you're going to T-Mobile, you need to bring your own compatible phone or buy a new one or go with their monthly payment plans, which are somewhere between $15 and $25 depending on which phone you get, which terms you get. So add that on if you are considering switching, but $100 a month for 2 people for completely unlimited data, that's hard to argue with.
Right on.
I might check this out, honestly. I might give it a go.
You go, boy.
I think I was pulling up the page and I haven't really gotten to it yet, but I think right now my wife and we have 3 gigs each, and I think that even just switching from what we have to an unlimited family plan will be about the same.
Yes, and since they don't do contracts, you can switch it pretty much at any time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the hot sheet. All right, we're just going to rifle through this real quick. We talked about the Google Cardboard earlier, and the much pricier, expensiver option from Samsung is now officially available from Samsung and AT&T. That is $199 for basically the same thing you can do for about $20 with Google Cardboard. But if you like yours to be shiny and only work with the Galaxy Notes, then that's probably your best option. Also, we got some updates to talk about real quick. Just a couple of Google Play editions getting the 501 update, no bigs. HTC One M7, One M8, and the Play Edition Moto G, all getting the 501 update right now. Right now, you can download it. You can have it. It's yours.
It's time for product reviews. This week, the Amazon Fire TV Stick with Cameron Summerson.
You made it sound like Cameron Summerson is a feature of the Amazon Fire Stick.
All new. Your Fire TV Stick features a bald guy from Texas.
I come free with every Fire TV stick. I mean, it's not actually me.
Comes for free.
Damn it, Bob. It's actually a small cardboard cutout of me that you can tape to the Fire Stick if you'd like.
If they replaced all the voice control stuff with Cam's very mild Arkansas accent, that would be okay.
That didn't come with mine. I want a refund.
Cardboard Cameron.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Is it scratch and sniff?
It is not scratch and sniff. But, that is a very, very good question, though, and very reasonable, I might add.
I'm going to guess that you probably wear Brute.
It's like you know me.
Or Dracar Noir.
or I don't know. I feel like I should probably wear something, one of the ones that you would see like a country western star in the commercial for. I don't know.
The official Tim McGraw scent.
I do. That's what I wear. I wear the official Tim McGraw scent. So I actually smell like Tim McGraw, if you just didn't know that.
The all-new Amazon Fire Stick featuring the Cameron Summerson Scratch and Sniff sticker with Tim McGraw action.
Okay, so none of that's actually true.
Oh,
Except for the Tim McGraw part. That part is true. But so the Fire TV Stick, the short of it is that I love it. That's the short. Because, so like earlier, I don't know, a few months ago, I reviewed Fire TV, thought it was awesome. Did kind of a head-to-head thing with Fire TV, Chromecast, Roku, and the Roku 3, and the Roku streaming stick. The most affordable of the bunch was Chromecast out of those, with the Roku streaming stick just a step above it. Roku has, of course, the biggest catalog of all the streaming set-top boxes. Roku is incredible. And for $50, the streaming stick was good for the content, but the performance was, it's kind of laggy. So that's kind of what I expected for Fire TV Stick, because it's basically a Fire TV in a stick form, but it's where instead of having 2 gigs of RAM like the Fire TV does, it only has 1, and it has a dual-core processor instead of quad-core. But the thing is it works really well. I mean, it works really, really well. It's very fluid. I don't really, I mean, as far as general browsing for apps and things like that, or streaming, I don't notice a difference between Fire TV and Fire TV Stick. Some of the higher-end games that are available for Fire TV, like Civ Zero or Game of Thrones, are not available on Fire TV Stick because of the limited hardware. So if you don't want it for anything outside of like very minimal casual gaming, then it's perfect. For $40, it's great. I mean, absolutely great. If you could catch it for $25, I know a lot of retailers were selling it for $25. It's an I mean, it's the amount of content and the things that you get for your money is insane with Fire TV Stick. I think that if you're on a very limited budget and you only want to spend, if you don't want to spend more than $40 or $50, the Fire TV Stick is the one stick to own. Because you can do pretty much everything with it. Aside from, of course, it doesn't have Google Play services of any kind, and it doesn't yet have HBO Go. That's supposed to be coming to Fire OS next year. But other than that, I mean, it has essentially everything else. Of course, all the big players, you know, Netflix and Hulu, and of course you get Amazon Prime Instant Video or Amazon Instant Video with it. If you're a Prime member, you get access to all the free Prime stuff. You also get Prime Music, all the Amazon stuff. I mean, tons of Amazon stuff. And you know, I'm still the whole time I was reviewing it, I was really just absolutely blown away at what a great experience it provides for only $40. And like I said, if you can catch it for $25 and then you can catch a good deal on a Chromecast for say $20 or $25, you basically have access to anything you could possibly want to watch for $50. You do have to switch back and forth between two platforms to do it, but still, it's better than spending like you'd have to spend double that to get that kind of access on Roku. And if you want to spend $100, then I still recommend the Roku 3. But if you're not trying to spend $100, Fire TV Stick is absolutely just badass.
Right. Point of contention: the Roku Stick, which is obviously a very similar form factor, very similar device, is $50 right now. And since Roku has access to all of Google stuff and all of Amazon stuff, I would still say if you're looking for the absolute rock bottom way to get everything on all these different platforms, Roku is an excellent alternative.
And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. The one thing that you're going to get with that, though, is you're going to have to power through the kind of crappy performance. I mean, it's just really stuttery and really laggy. And if that kind of thing doesn't bother you, then that's cool. Then by all means, go for the Roku streaming stick. Personally, it makes my blood start to boil after about 25, 30 seconds of watching this stuttery crap across the screen. I just can't handle it. I just don't have the patience for it. And the thing is, it's not really, I wouldn't say that it's significantly slower than other ones. It's just the animations are so choppy it makes me want to put a fist through the wall.
But is the video quality okay? I have
the video quality is fine. It works where it counts. The video quality is fine. Okay. But I still. Yeah, I mean it is a hard toss-up between, because I mean if you don't already know this, Roku does have access to Amazon Prime Video or Amazon Instant Video and Google Play Movies. No Google Play Music or anything like that, but Google Play Movies is on Roku, which is super freaking awesome. I keep my Roku 3 in the bedroom, and
they've only had it for like 6 weeks. That's when they put the new channel in.
Yeah, I mean, I keep most of the Android-related stuff here in the office. My Chromecast is in here, but it's not even plugged up. Nexus Player, Fire TV Stick, those are all in here. But I keep the Roku in the bedroom because when I actually want to sit down and watch TV, Roku has everything that I want. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Roku, but I think for the price, if you could catch the Fire Stick at, it's a good deal at $40. But if you could catch it for $20 or $25. It's a no-brainer. It's an instant buy in my book.
You think? Okay, so it took a long time, but the Play Movies ended up on the Roku platform. Do you think that the same might be coming for Fire TV?
See, I wonder that. I don't know. It would be so easy to bring it over because it's already based on Android. But I mean, of course, on Android it does rely on the Google framework. On Roku, it doesn't. I don't know what would be involved in bringing it. It seems like it would be easy, and I do wonder. I wonder if since they brought it to Roku, if they would bring it to Amazon, or if that's too much competition with Nexus Play.
I think that they being Google and Amazon are not on the best of terms right now, especially considering what just happened with the Amazon app. They're probably not looking for ways to work together.
And I think for them, Roku is basically their streaming video demilitarized zone where they can both operate.
That's true, but you also have to keep in mind that the way most businesses works, most departments, like Google Play and Amazon's app, completely different people than the people who handle Fire TV and the Google Movies group.
But you say that, and it still took Amazon 2, 3, 4 years to bring accessible Amazon Video to regular Android
and
customers.
It still doesn't support the Chromecast.
And it still doesn't support
Yeah, that's a good point. There could be some issues there, guys.
I think the streaming video stuff. There's definitely an agenda on both sides.
We need to hold some sort of a mediation group for Google and Amazon so we can work their issues out. So us, we as consumers can get all of our stuff in one place, because that's ultimately what I really want.
We need to de-escalate this situation. We need some peer counselors to
We need to have an Android police section.
Yeah, that's true. I will say this though, going back to what I use the most. Like I said, I have basically 4 boxes here in the office, and every time I go straight to the Fire TV when I'm gonna like if I'm streaming something with League Pass, Fire TV every time. And I watch a lot of basketball in here, so there's that to be said. Because Nexus Player just doesn't do it for me. Nexus Player does this obnoxious crap where I guess it's either a setting in the player or it's a setting in the Game Time app where after about 10 minutes into a game, when you haven't touched the controller, the damn screensaver comes on. And it makes me so mad.
That sounds like the app has some sort of bug that's not, keeping the screen awake.
It's not registering that there's a video playing, because it doesn't happen with Netflix, it doesn't happen with Play Movies, and it doesn't happen with YouTube. But with Game Time, it does, so I refuse to watch basketball on the Nexus Player. I only watch it on Fire TV. And it doesn't have that problem on Fire TV. And it should be the same app. I mean, it's running on Android. It should be the same app. So I don't know what the deal is. But it's stupid.
All right, let's move on to developer news.
It's time for developer news. I usually use the same sounder for other news, but this week we got both, so you're going to hear it twice.
It's good, because this is my favorite sounder.
It's very zen. It's very calm.
It is. It makes me feel like I'm being transported to a world where there is no violence, and that's me. That right there, that was me in the world with no violence.
That was him introducing violence to the world.
That was me introducing violence to the world with no violence.
So that's what you sound like in this magical world? You sound like that buzzing sound? That's you?
I do. I'm a very obnoxious buzzing sound that people will hate.
Okay. So. I can see that. I mean, I can hear that.
All right, so in the world of developer news, we have actually it's a pretty big development, because we've been hearing about Android Studio. That was at Google I/O, not this past one, but the one before, wasn't it? I mean, it's been around for over a year, and it's finally out of beta and it's officially released. And so Cam, what's that mean to us?
So basically, I'm not a developer. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But the long and short of it is, Android Studio replaces Eclipse. It is, I don't want to say simplified, but it makes it easier to build apps for Android, and it also makes it easy to build apps, or easier. I don't want to say easy. Makes it easier to build apps for Android Wear, Android TV, and Google Glass, which is a pretty big deal. And it shows where Google wants to put the focus, and it says, basically, do you want your app to support Wear? Do you want your app to support Android TV? Do you want your app to support Google Glass? Android Auto is not part of this right now, which makes sense. There hasn't really been any movement with Android Auto yet. So that's a pretty big deal in itself. I'm not sure as far. I mean, past that, since I'm not a developer, I don't really know what else it brings in terms of good news for developers. But the fact that they're making it easy to support Android as a whole, and not just Android phones, Android tablets, but everything that Android encompasses at this point. And it's only going to get better. This is version 1.0. It just came out of beta. So that's a big deal. Like I said, Eclipse is no longer in active development. This is essentially going to completely replace Eclipse. I imagine that the majority of developers have already dropped Eclipse and moved to Android Studio. If not, they should probably all check it out soon.
All right. Move on to other news.
It's time for other news. I played a different sounder.
It makes me feel like a detective with a really deep voice is going to start telling me a story. That's how I feel.
She walked into the office with legs that went all the way to the ground.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And those are very good legs you just described.
Yeah, they're not at all like all of the other legs in existence. I would actually like if we could use the sound of Cameron in the violence-free universe and turn that into a sounder of some sort. That would be ideal.
Man,
yes.
It makes me feel really good to hear myself in that environment.
I feel like that's the sound that would be made if, like, Hubert existed in the real world.
That was oddly specific.
That was very specific. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right, so Qi charging just got a pretty significant bump this week. Obviously, wireless charging is pretty cool in and of itself, but a little bit on the slow side. And looks like there might be a new development that might be changing things in that regard, right, Michael?
Yes, there is. So there's this company. The company is called Freescale. They make OEM parts for wireless charging, among many other things. But for this particular example, they've come up with a new way to put up to 15 watts of output on a wireless charging pad, which is a big deal because, as you said, for the moment, wireless charging is not as fast as just plugging your phone into a charger. Now, this is important because battery tech is not getting all that much better as far as lithium-ion is concerned. We've got a lot of other stuff going on. There's lithium polymer. There's new stuff coming out, but batteries are kind of in a rut. So all we can do is make our stuff more efficient, and lately we can try and get energy into the batteries much, much faster. So we've got Qualcomm's Quick Charging 2.0, which is just fantastic if you've got a compatible device like the new Moto X. It's really dramatically faster, but wireless charging isn't keeping up. So Freescale has come up with basically a triple capacity for their wireless charging units. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to equal triple the speed for charging, because you are sending energy across air. There's going to be some loss in there, but it is going to be considerably faster when they get this out. They're going to have to talk to OEMs to get it into both the charging units and new phones. So even if your phone has wireless charging right now, it almost certainly won't be compatible with this new system, at least to the effect that you will get triple the charging speed. But the future looks bright for this, so it's some very cool tech.
My suspicion is that if you have an existing Qi-capable device, that it will probably still be able to charge at the same speed it currently does.
Oh, certainly, because it's still got the same capacity
right.
that it does right now.
Right. So, I was really trying at the beginning of this segment to make a very noir. She walked in with 15 watts of power
and she was using every one of them.
But I couldn't make it work. Sorry guys, I failed.
But if you give me some advanced warning next time, I'll come up with it. I have dived into the world of noir pulp fiction wholeheartedly.
All right, so voicemails, Bob.
There are two of them.
Two.
And we're going to play the first now.
Hey guys, Brian, listen. So I'm thinking about flashing the 5.0 system to system images to my Nexus 5.
This is not.
But I wanted to know from you guys, is there any reason to hold off?
That
at
was
least
the one called
concerning
voicemail. So it must be something else. Well, let's play the other one.
Hello, AP. Lollipop has started to roll out. That came down to my Nexus 7 earlier this week, and I'm a little disturbed because there's an awful lot of white all over the place.
It's not
This
it
is
either.
not
Seeing
it
as I do a
either.
lot of night reading. and
What
things.
happened, Matt?
They're up there. They're in
Did you guys
Dropbox.
break it?
Yeah. You know what? I think that the fact that they're named the same as old ones is a problem in my cart software.
Viewers, we apologize that we don't have an image to show you with
Could
an
you
image
rename that?
on it.
Rename them.
I am in the process.
Just call them today's date 1 and 2. Hey! I hit another button. What the hell? Go away! Go! Thank you. Alright. This can all be edited out. And that's good.
Yeah, but live people have to suffer through it.
Man, that's the
Hey,
best
you're
part
the only
about
one
watching live. dude.
complaining about it.
They are now voicemail for Bob and voicemail for Bob-1.
Hello, gentlemen. This is Matt. I have a question on the best uses for Chromecast. With every quasi-smart Blu-ray or TV having Hulu, Netflix, Pandora already baked in, what are the real reasons or uses for the Chromecast if you use the Chromecast, or even that you would imagine would be the use for the Chromecast if you did in fact use it? I look forward to your answers. Thank you very much, and happy holidays if you so choose to observe them.
Okay, I got this. First off, Google Play services. Google Play Movies, Google Play Music. You can't get those. I mean, you can. I mean, not on a smart TV. You can't get those. You can't. You can get Google Play Movies on Roku, like we already talked about, but not on a smart TV. Also, HBO Go. As far as I know, that's not available on smart TVs. So if you watch anything on HBO, Chromecast is great for that. Past that, yeah, that's all.
There's the ability to share local media through various apps, of course.
That's true. Yeah, all cast.
I turn around
and screen.
Blu-ray player, man.
I would say the biggest bonus for having something like a Chromecast is the fact that all smart TV interfaces suck.
Yeah, that's true.
They suck royally, and
But
even if you have a sucky interface in your hand, you can still navigate around because you're using your hand. So just to start media, even things like YouTube on your television versus in your hand is cool.
that's
Yeah,
true.
and the other thing about the Chromecast is that it has all the screen mirroring stuff built in, and now that works, I think, on every device running KitKat or higher after the latest Chromecast app update.
Yeah, the app update has support for 4.4.2 and later. It's marked
Yeah, so
on
that
everything that
is
I've tried.
neat.
It's working pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's really neat. I actually use that a fair bit, and the Chromecast stuff, the screencasting is all tied into the Google ecosystem, so you can like cast like photo slideshows from your computer and and your phone, and it's just kind of convenient. And then if you have an app that you have bought on Android that has Chromecast stuff built in, then it kind of makes sense to use a Chromecast rather than to buy that app again in Amazon's App Store. That's like I use Plex, and I have like the paid Plex app on Android. So if you don't have Plex Pass, then you would have to buy the app again from Amazon.
Yeah, the fact that things like Chromecast and Amazon Fire TV and those just make me really frustrated. You look everywhere, and you look at the sizes that I want, which is like 55 inches, and you can't find something that's not smart. It's like I want to save 150, 200 bucks because I don't care about all this functionality built in. I've got that here. I can upgrade it every couple of years for a minimal amount of money. Just give me a dumb TV, please.
Yeah,
That might be an episode title. Give me a dumb TV, please.
I'm not into the whole smart TV crap
Yeah,
either.
I
I like the
most
things
people
that I
probably
can connect to my TV, so I don't need it to be built in. Yeah. So anyway, there are a lot of uses for Chromecast. It's not. Although I may be in the minority here, I find having to use my phone or my tablet a little bit cumbersome versus something like Fire TV or Roku, where I can just grab a remote.
Yeah, the remote is cool. You know what would be great is if Google would just release a new Chromecast that had 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and a freaking remote.
You know what would be really cool if Google would replace, okay, stay with me on this one. If Google would release a set-top box that runs Android and can be used as a Chromecast and also has Android apps that people want to use, how kick-ass would that be?
Okay, but
that sounds amazing. Assuming it doesn't suck.
Wait, but can they make it cost $35? That would be.
No.
That I
Okay.
doubt.
But we can get it to be
That-
99 as long as we put in enough storage for you to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so
One of the many
for
reasons.
those who don't get it, we're taking jabs at Nexus Player here. I'm sure half the people have already forgotten that thing exists.
Hey, you know what? Here, I got a question for you, Cam, that I don't think I thought to ask until just now. Does the Nexus Player support like public Wi-Fi?
What do you mean?
Like Wi-Fi that requires you to log in to use it?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because that's one of the holdups. A lot of people that I know actually don't use Chromecast because they travel and use like hotel Wi-Fi a lot, which we to log in, and it just you can't do that on the Chromecast.
I doubt very seriously that you could do that on Nexus Player either.
Is there any sort of browser or anything on the Nexus Player?
No browser. I don't. You know what? Now that I think about it, can any? I don't know. Roku might be able to, but I don't think Fire TV can either. There's no browser on it. There's no way to
kind of
authenticate.
web browser on Roku, and I use it pretty frequently. I don't think it's in there. At least not in mine.
There is a workaround for if you happen to be a works, and that is that a lot of really sloppy people have put together these systems at hotels that actually, in the authentication URL, it actually includes the MAC address of the device you are authenticating. So you can actually open that up on your laptop, swap in the MAC address of the Chromecast, and in some cases you can actually get your Chromecast authenticated that way. But it doesn't always work. If the person who developed the hotel Wi-Fi system is worth their salt, it probably won't work. But apparently most of them aren't. So.
Hotel Wi-Fi generally sucks so bad you can barely stream anything on it anyway. So I don't know. I've never
free hotel Wi-Fi sucks. If you go to a nice hotel like a Hilton or something, then you pay for the Wi-Fi, and it does not suck. That's the dichotomy. You go to the cheap places and it's free, and it sucks.
Yeah, but the ones that you have to pay for, don't they typically only allow one device on their network, and that's it?
I don't pay for it. I have no idea. I tether when I get to those nice hotels.
Yeah.
You with your magical unlimited data plan.
It is nice. Yes.
Yeah.
And I pay for the tethering. Thank you very much. $30 extra every month.
Verizon hates you.
I like his immediate justification. Hey now, I pay for this, and I use it.
All right, let's move on to the second voicemail.
Hello, AP. I read an article this week how Samsung has done some restructuring on account their Galaxy S5 has seriously missed the mark for 2014. As we look forward to 2015, what do you think Samsung has in store for themselves, not only for their design, but also devices? Could they perhaps adopt a less skinned operating system to where it's not so reliant on TouchWiz? After doing some experiments, my personal feeling is that TouchWiz is very, very laggy and, in short, bitchy. What do you guys think? I'm Piper the DJ. Happy holidays to one and all. Good night.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I am pretty sure Samsung does not think that is why the Galaxy S5 did so poorly. Yes. And they're probably right. I mean, the phone didn't sell well because it looks almost exactly like the Galaxy S4 to the point that if you just looked at it, you wouldn't immediately be able to tell.
It's not even just that, but I think Samsung really underestimated their competition this year. I feel like everybody really stepped up. I mean, like LG with the G3. I don't personally like the G3, but I'm not going to say it's a bad phone because it's a kick-ass phone.
Yeah, I mean, and then the G3 didn't come out until summer though. And I mean, the Galaxy S5 had a good 2 months of lead time, where its only real competition in like the new phone space at that time was the M8, which I think did okay, but I mean, it didn't like blow the doors off the phone market or anything.
And I'd say a bigger factor in this is the fact that the Galaxy S4 was barely different from the Galaxy S3, and those people that did go out and upgrade and saw that this, okay, you've got a 1080p screen, you've got a little bit of processor, you've got a ton more Samsung apps, that's it. Are they really lining up around the block to buy the next phone? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Galaxy S5 is sort of the perfect storm of uninteresting things because the people who care about specs would look at the spec sheet and say, okay, it's not really that different. And the people who care about what a phone looks like and if people are going to notice they have a new phone, were like, but it looks just like the last one. So there was really no group that would really feel like they had to go out and get the Galaxy S5 right away. And I think we've already seen what Samsung is going to be doing with Lollipop. I mean, the ROMs have started leaking. It's not going to be dramatically different, I don't think.
Yeah, and make no mistake, Samsung is scared. They missed their mark, the sales mark, according to the Wall Street Journal, on the Galaxy S5 by 40%, which is huge for them. But their basic battle plan is to just throw as much software and as much crazy kooky features into their hardware as they possibly can. That's been what they've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years. They might try and step up their hardware game as far as the fit and finish is concerned. I think the Galaxy Alpha is a really good example of that. But as far as TouchWiz and the software side, no, they're still going to throw everything they can in there.
I mean, but at the same time, though, the Galaxy S5 felt a little bit more aware of how ridiculous their software has been. I mean, a lot of that stuff from the Galaxy S4 was gone. That they just took some of it out because it was stupid and it didn't work, and a lot of other stuff was disabled by default. I mean, the software on the Galaxy S5 wasn't terrible. I just think it was kind of boring. Not really.
I think TouchWiz has demonstrably improved in almost every iteration, but the idea that they are no longer interested in really defining their products with this incredibly unique software layer, no, that's not going away.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be their thing going forward.
And it's still going to suck.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think suck is a strong word.
It's going to be suboptimal.
Yeah, you brought up a great point with the competition because between Sony and HTC and Motorola and LG, I would take all 4 of their flagships over the S5 this year.
Yeah, this next year, I'm actually really interested in what HTC does with the, I guess, M9, if that's what they call it, because the rumor is that they're not going to use that ultra-pixel sensor nonsense again. They're going to put a real camera in it. And
a real camera? My goodness, what a good idea.
And the camera was the thing about the M8 that just killed me. It was why? The duo camera, that's just stupid. I mean, if they actually, use a regular sensor that takes pictures that you can actually crop, then that's a pretty interesting phone. Samsung, if they're smart, they will be working very hard to counter that phone.
Cool.
All right. Well, there's a contest going on the website, androidpolice.com/contest, and it's for a couple of Feedly Pro lifetime accounts from Feedly and APK Mirror. So if you are a big RSS reader and a fan of that way of consuming content, this is actually pretty cool. There's some nice functionalities like Dropbox integration, IFTTT integration as well. So make sure you head on over to androidpolice.com/contest to get yourself entered to win that fabulous prize. And on that note, Bob, you want to cue the outro?
Sure.
And on a low note?
We hope you enjoyed the show. As always, send your feedback to podcast@androidpolice.com. You can also call us at 530-HELLO-AP. That's 530-435-5627. Find us on Twitter at Android Police, Google Plus, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Can I just say that I was very pleased with myself that I managed to get the intro right without any kind of coaching. It's only my 3rd or 4th time.
You did good, You did good, Michael. You did good.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy a pop filter for my mic. I was looking at them while you guys were talking.
I was popping a lot tonight, and I usually don't. So
I keep looking at boom arms for my mic because I don't like having it sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, I would like to have a boom arm and a pop filter. I think that'll be some of my...
Artem should just buy us these things. Can we just ask Artem to buy us these things?
Oh no, let's.
I'm just using the mic off of the webcam. Am I sounding okay? I can't hear myself.
You sound okay.
I could hear some echo. I could definitely tell that you were not using like a dedicated mic.
You know, it's like every time I look for like boom arms, I think like I'm gonna have to buy like some ridiculously expensive one because my desk is literally like the entire width of it and then some has monitors on it. So like I'm gonna have to get some like gigantic studio arm that comes up from the back of the desk and goes like over my monitors and comes down like in front of my face or something.
Yeah, my monitor's hung off the side of my little bitty desk, but I saw it 4 inches on either side.
I'll still have to figure out what I'm gonna do as far as like if I get a boom monitor. I mean, boom monitor? What the hell is a boom arm?
That would also solve your problem.
Is that like a baby monitor? You hear them like for a ghost or something?
Yeah. And the thing is, I have this. I use the Blue Yeti mic, so I'm super weird about mixing brands, so I want Blue branded stuff. Like that's just what I want, and I know that's super weird.
I've got the Blue shock mount. That's this thing you see in front of you right here.
Wait, hold on. Let me switch back so I can look. Oh yeah, the
shock mount.
Yeah, the radius, right?
It's
the radius
huge. Yeah.
Is it? Does it work well?
Yeah, as far as shock is concerned, it works great.
It looks like one of those astronaut training things where they spin them in 3 directions at once.
Do you have that also on a boom stand?
It's on a boom mic stand. It's not on a opposable arm one or whatever they're called, but it's just a regular boom stand.
Do you recommend the shock mount? Because I might pick one of those up too.
If you're gonna go a stand that touches the ground that you can bump into, I definitely recommend that. If you're gonna go, they've got the ones that come out in your desk and have kind of the hydraulic arm, and it kind of does shock absorption on its own. So
interesting. So the radius, wow, that's like $50 just for that. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my Amazon wish list. Maybe I'll pick it up later. Oh look, here's some boom arms. And
we might just have a little arrangement, so you know what I'm saying. Talk to David about blue stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think
actually that's a good point. I completely forgot about that. I
need to.
We'll ask you about that.
I need to give a shout out to my homeboy.
And then you guys can all have the mini centrifuge that we can be all space campy in.
Woo! But yeah, I want a pop filter and all that so I can feel more pro.
Yeah, now that I live in a place that's somewhat respectable, I wouldn't mind coming on more often if you guys have holes in the lineup.
For sure.
We like it. Will be our go-to filling for holes.
For sure.
Phrasing.
Wow, that was dirty.
I don't think you can use that as a title. I'm pretty sure.
No, you would be our go-to filling for holes.
I think I'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
But I really was wondering if Michael could say, what was the phrase he said earlier? It was he said it twice. Let me see.
By the way, T-Mobile won't let me switch to that $100 plan.
Oh, focus.
Why?
It says you are already on one of our best plans.
Maybe call up their customer support.
Oh, it's got to be for new customers only.
It's just the software doesn't recognize it.
I think it does say to visit a retail store, so I could probably walk into a store and get switched.
Oh, okay. Well.
No, when you were talking about the VR stuff, you called it a Google something unit twice, and it just sounded really funny.
The Google VR cardboard unit?
Yes, you said the Google Cardboard unit like 3 times, and I just thought...
Well, that's what it is. It's Google Cardboard. That's the name of the product.
Google Cardboard unit. I can see how that...
I see what you're talking about.
No, it's a Google Cardboard face case for your phone.
Google Cardboard face case, I think, is going to be the episode title.
You said Google.
Google. The Google Cardboard face case.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm taking a picture.
Of
me.
Oh, selfie cam. It's selfie cam.
Selfie cam.
Here, I'm going to lock it on you, and now it's the selfie cam.
Just right. Hold on, if I move it just right. Oh my god, I can even get the Bulls logo from my wallpaper down below.
Oh snap! Said the
It did,
camera.
it just snapped. Man, that one turned out really badly because it was right when my monitor was doing something.
Oh snap! All right, well, I'm going to start editing this since it's almost past my bedtime.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you East Coasters.
Time.
I should probably stop recording.
Okay.
Hey Cam, did you get that hot sauce in?
Did you get the hot sausage?
The case of hot sauce? No, it just shipped out today.
Oh, hot sauce in.
Yeah, but I know, dude. I'm freaking out because there's literally like this much left in the other bottle, and I'm like, oh my god, hurry up and get. I still can't believe I got free shipping on that. That had to be some sort of error because when I looked today, when I got the shipping notification, it was like 17 pounds. I was like, dude, you guys are charging me less than $4 a bottle for this and giving me free shipping. Where are you making money?
If there's anybody still watching, it's California pepper plant hot sauce. Amazing stuff. I turned Cam onto it. It is just fantastic.
I totally agree. It's incredible, and I'm wearing a sriracha shirt. So, and I'll still give it up to this hot sauce that Michael sent me. I got nothing but love for sriracha, but this stuff is like next level, like so good, especially on eggs. It's the best on eggs. Oh, it's so good.
You're one of those hot sauce egg
sauce.
people.
That's like actually the name of the hot sauce, kick-ass hot sauce. They have
Man.
several different kinds, and they're very good.
Okay,
Right.
well,
We'll let Bob go to sleep.
I have things to do, so I'm going to depart.
Yeah, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go maybe cook some eggs with hot sauce.
All right.
Oh, you have the last of it because you got to wait for that case.
Oh shit, man! It won't be till like next week. I think it's 7. I think it was literally like a week. I think it's like the 17th before it'll be here, which I just don't even know.
All right, fellas. I had lots of fun. Next time I'll try and have a decent microphone, see what I can track down.
Yeah, we'll work something out. We'll work on that next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Peace
I'm
out,
out.
home dogs.
Deuces.
Slice. Threeses.
Peace. Later.
Peace later. I am going to stop the broadcast now. So for those of you still in the chat room, we thank you for coming. So.